You want to maybe set a little bracket on the ESPN? How you can set like a bracket?
Do we want to get the whiteboard out for this bracket?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Can you
Well,
pull it up?
thank you guys for joining the MattCast podcast. I'm Matty Light, joined by my co-host Matty J. Kind of doing our typical thing. And what the hell? My shit is not working. But we're gonna do a little college bracket predictions for college playoffs.
You know what I think we need to invest in now?
A whiteboard.
Like a rolling whiteboard, like a
Yeah.
one you can flip.
Yeah. Like old school classroom ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some we could probably find cheap.
All right. So we got number 12 Clemson against number 5 Texas. And then that leads into Arizona State, who's on a bye.
Yeah.
And then underneath Clemson and Texas is Tennessee and Ohio State. Number 9 Tennessee, number 8 Ohio State. Yeah. Number 8 Ohio State. And then
Can you abbreviate them to OSU?
yeah, you can. Yeah.
And then they go to where?
Oregon and the
Ooh,
Rose Bowl. And they're number 1. Arizona State's number 4. I don't know if you're writing that down.
I was, and then you didn't do so. Okay, I got 4. What's Texas? 9.
9.
Tennessee.
Wait, sorry. Texas was 5.
Texas 5.
Tennessee is 9.
Ohio State.
8.
And then Oregon 1.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you have SMU against Penn State, 11 and 6.
11
and 6. SMU is 11.
Penn State 6.
Yep. And then you have
And they go to play who?
Boise State at number 3.
They got to play Boise State at 3?
Yep. And then we finish it off with number 10 Indiana against number 7 Notre Dame. Plays against number 2 Georgia. And then Boise State and Georgia will play against each other in the semis.
Oops.
Just pull the bottom one over to the other side. Number 10 Indiana and number 7 Notre Dame.
I had that. What's
Okay?
Boise was 3.
Yeah.
SMU 11.
Yeah. And Penn State 6. And then have them connect in the middle for the semis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you want to show a little bit lower. There. All right. So we're going to do our predictions on how the bracket's going to go. Do you all go first and then you, or?
You want to go? We'll like hit the top bracket and then we'll get them. So we have to come to a mutual decision here.
Yeah. Okay. So Clemson, Texas. I'm going to lean Texas on this one.
I agree. Why?
I think they're just a much better dynamic team compared to Clemson. I think Clemson's definitely snuck in there compared to some of the other teams that are on this.
Well, snuck in. I don't know about snuck in. I mean, they had to win their conference championship to get in.
Yeah.
They are the 12th man in.
Yeah.
But comparatively to a team like SMU, Jules, watch out, she fired up her food. You want to get in that?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
her toys on top of the food.
Oh, is that what she was trying to get at?
Maybe.
And then, yeah, the water bowl, I can see it's like...
There you go. There you go. Have fun. No, like the toy was like encapsulating all the food.
Gotcha.
And so whenever she tried to get like a bite, she'd just move it all. But yeah, I think Clemson, of the teams that are on here, they're the only ones that kind of like snuck in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, by being the 12th man in or the
Yeah.
12th team in, I mean, sure.
Yeah. So you agree with me on that one?
Yeah, I agree with you on
Okay.
Texas.
Then Tennessee, OSU.
I think
Tennessee's gonna be a sneak on this one.
I don't think it's a sneak. I think when Ohio State, and that's like the big thing that we've been talking about for like years, is when Ohio State gets into big situations, they fold.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: even if they do get past Tennessee,
Mhm.
they're gonna lose to Oregon again.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that was a close game, but I feel like Dan Lanning's gonna learn all that
Yeah.
mistakes. While what's their fucking Ryan Day, I think is the coach
Yeah.
at Ohio
OSU.
State,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna go Tennessee here.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
He's trying to draw upside down or right upside down.
pretty good,
Yeah. Pretty good.
pretty good.
All right. So Indiana, Notre Dame.
I
Indiana.
I agree. Why?
Notre Dame. I'm not going to start off with Notre Dame. Indiana's been lights out almost all season against
Except
fucking who was it?
they got their ass railed by Ohio State.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to your analysis.
Yeah, they've just been lights out all year, and I think they learned from that one mistake they had.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think don't they have 2 losses?
I think they lost against Oregon.
Oregon,
Yeah, in the Big Ten championship.
not including that one.
That one's counted.
And then they're 11-3. What's their record?
Here, let me pull it up.
If you don't mind,
Oh, where the fuck?
because they're undefeated for a while. I think and they were.
They're 11-1.
Oh, so they only lost to Ohio State then, as I was. But yeah, the championship games don't count.
Yeah. Okay.
SMU, Penn State.
Probably Penn State.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna pull up both their teams and like their last 5. So SMU played against Pitt, Boston College, UVA, and Cal, and then lost to Clemson, which Clemson is ranked lower than them.
That's why whenever you said that if all the teams that snuck in, it was Clemson, I thought you did a disservice because they beat
Well,
SMU.
so
Or
my
did they
reasoning
beat-
for that is that
Right.
Clemson needed other teams to win so that they could get in.
Yeah, no, but when they get in and then you already beat a team like SMU,
Yeah.
in your mind you still have SMU ranked over Clemson, even though they
No,
beat them in the head to
I
head.
wasn't gonna like say Clemson or SMU was gonna do good. I think they're definitely a first round out.
Mm.
But like, yeah, both Clemson and SMU I think are the 2 weakest. But Clemson was the one that had to get the right situation to happen for them to get in there.
Yes. Yeah.
That was my reasoning to it.
Okay.
But yeah.
So back up to Arizona State and Texas.
Yeah. ASU and Texas. If Texas can stop the run against ASU,
So here's the thing too, man, that like ASU was hot and that they just kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And what they're
yeah,
gonna get like a 3-week, maybe a 4-week break.
yeah.
That is fucking
But see,
tough.
they also had 2-star receivers out in Big 12 championship.
Are they gonna get them back?
Potentially, that's what they're hoping for, and what they're hoping to get a bye to see if they can actually get some of their receiver, like some of their star power back.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I honestly think that we're gonna look at an upset here, and I think you're going to look at ASU,
Yeah.
who everybody counted out. I mean, they were picked at the bottom of the Big 12,
Yeah.
and I think they're going to come in. Texas, God only knows how they're going to do versus Clemson.
Mhm.
Hey, come on, Jules, get down. That's not a
No, that's
toy.
fine.
Okay,
I don't mind.
all right.
Now, I do agree,
Mhm.
but I can picture the Cinderella story, and this is going to be something that's talked about for years.
Yeah,
Is ASU coming out of nowhere
and that's
and getting to the national championship?
yeah.
Do I think it's probably going to happen? Mm,
Well, they
I
still
want to
gotta,
say,
even if they win here, they gotta go versus here, which
yeah,
Oregon or Tennessee is a very tough ask.
yeah,
Well, even if it's Oregon and Ohio State is a
mhm,
tough. If you get
yeah,
past Texas, I mean, it's
yeah,
a tough task as itself.
yeah.
So
Um,
I'm going in with the thought process of a Mystic Mac where I'm looking into the future.
yeah,
If ASU wins, I don't expect it to be a blowout like how they did
no, Iowa
Iowa
State,
State.
yeah,
I expect it to be like a field goal game winning drive to walk
yeah,
it off and fucking you're all excited and happy
yeah,
and shit. If they do that and they have that energy going in. If it's Tennessee, I feel like they can beat Tennessee.
yeah,
If it's Oregon, I feel like Oregon's gonna be going to
yeah. I think
the
Oregon's
champ.
going to be going to the ship too.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, Dan Lanning is Oregon's coach, not ASU. I think that's
oh, yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I think I said
but
that
yeah, I'm going to
earlier.
go Texas, but it's more of like a 52-48.
I don't agree with the Texas.
You don't agree with Texas winning?
No, I mean, especially when you looked at them when they lost. And here's the thing: you're probably going to say that like the SEC championship is not that big a deal.
Yeah,
But I mean, like just looking at how like watching that game, they did not look good.
yeah.
Like, can we pull up that game? I mean, there was a pick off of a wide receiver. I can't remember who it was. It went right to him. It bounced off his chest, went up in the air, lost concentration. But the guy covering him, I believe it was a cornerback, kept his eye on the ball and got the interception. So I'm trying to look here at what you're
No,
doing.
yeah. I'm trying to find the. Nope. Um,
I mean, even Texas, they they hurt Carson Beck
mm,
so much that he had to leave the game, and they still lost.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, first quarter was a Texas field goal. Second quarter, another Texas field goal with a Georgia field goal as well. Third quarter, Georgia TD, Georgia field goal, which made it 13-6. Texas TD, Georgia field goal, 16-13. Um, Field goal, 16-16. And then overtime was Texas got a field goal, and then Georgia scored a TD in overtime.
Yeah. And I mean,
So,
they lost the time of possession. They lost the turnover battle, or unless, yeah, they had three turnovers. They had 21 first downs, and they had way more total yards, and they still came away with an L, even after
mhm,
taking out the other team's
yeah,
number one. I'm gonna move my chair here, so
number one QB.
yeah.
You might have swayed me back over to ASU.
And this is a team project, a collaboration. We need 100% buy-in from
I want to go ASU then. Yeah,
ASU.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
oh boy.
If you need to turn it around,
Nope, this
the
is
right,
fine.
okay. And then for this one, I'm gonna pick Oregon.
Yeah, I agree. Dan Lanning, I don't know if they do Coach of the Year awards or Oregon.
the G's backwards, but yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck it. Georgia, Indiana.
That's a tough game to me, but I'm leaning more Bulldogs than Hoosiers. Just off of, I mean, like when you're looking at Big Ten power,
Mhm.
they did very well versus Big Ten teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except for Ohio State, who they lost to. I'd be curious to see them do in SEC matchup. I mean, especially after like beating a team like Notre Dame, I don't
Yeah.
expect. I mean, Notre Dame's a good enough ball club to get into the playoffs,
Yeah.
but I mean, another
Um,
quick one and out team.
yeah.
I think Georgia, they've been here before. What they won it all
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
you know.
I want to lean though Indiana. Just I don't know if they have Carson Beck yet.
Can we pull that
Back.
up? I mean, I know we're
Um,
a bit way out, but is he questionable?
I don't know if they have any IR shit. Like maybe a roster.
What was his injury? Was it just I
It
mean,
might have been a concussion.
he's still on the roster. It didn't say anything.
Well, see, like I don't think they have anything for IR though.
If he was on the injured reserves, he wouldn't be on that starting
Okay.
position on the roster. Hey, Jules, what are you doing? You crazy kid. What about Indiana?
They've just played well over the season compared to Georgia, who
Hmm.
has let other teams drag them into overtime. Yes, they came away with wins, but I think Indiana has just throughout the season played and blown out a lot more teams compared to other people, or compared to Georgia at least.
Where do you think Indiana's going to dominate? Do you think it's going to be either a Russian offense? Do you think it's going to be an air raid? Do you think it's going to be a defensive kind of scheme that's going to hold Georgia down?
I think it's a mix of defensive and offense, or in the air, um, throwing the ball, just because like they have to keep up with the speed of the SEC.
Hmm.
Unless if they can slow that, like their defense needs to slow down the SEC high speed offense and play to their tempo.
You're not convincing me here. Hey, is there a reason we didn't just because you can do on college, you can set like a bracket, right? Like on the computer.
Oh well, I just think this is a little bit more fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'll tell you, you're not convincing me, but I got you in the ASU, so I'll follow you with Indiana here.
Okay.
In the D
That's a B. But
D and
and isn't this a whole lot more funny?
maybe if you're on your side of the
Yeah.
fucking chalkboard
All
or
right.
marker board,
And then
excuse
we have
me.
Penn State and Boise State.
um,
I'm gonna go Penn State
what? Give me why?
just because of the Mountain West Conference compared to,
Sure, if we're
yeah,
looking at conferences, Big Ten all day, every day is a
yeah,
tough. But here's the thing: like Penn State, whenever you look at like big matchups, like I know they lost to Ohio State,
mm,
they lost to Oregon as
yeah,
well. Like Boise State, didn't they lose to Oregon too? But they kept it pretty close.
yeah. They kept it close, but
I think when you get Penn State's one of those teams when you get them into those tough situations,
mm,
they're just
they
they just kind
flop.
of fold every time. You're looking at schedule between
Well, I'm gonna also look at their last five. Um, for Penn State.
yeah.
So Oregon was their last loss. Minnesota. Ooh, that was closer. And then Washington. Yeah.
Oh, you got SMU. Oh, sorry, not SMU. Do who's the team we're comparing them to?
Boise.
Boise. Yeah. Like, yeah, if you're looking, they're beating teams they're supposed to beat. But when you get them into those situations, like when they're playing Ohio State, and I think we were riding with them to
Yeah.
win. Especially I think that was right after the Nebraska game.
And like, so it was still 20 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
So like
One score
close-ish.
game.
Yeah. One score game.
Oregon, it wasn't as close as a game as the score makes it seem.
Yeah. And then they have SMU. So you have Georgia Southern, Oregon, which was a 3-point game, their only loss. Then you have Portland State, Washington State, who was a fairly good
Yeah,
team throughout the
Wazoo,
season.
that towards the end they really started stringing it together.
Yeah. Utah State, Hawaii,
UNLV,
UNLV.
that was a ranked team.
That was a that one was a good win for them.
I think,
San Diego
and they
State.
beat them twice. They beat UNLV twice,
Yep.
which I didn't know
Um.
that they did that where they played teams twice in college.
Well, that was the championship game.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
pardon
yeah,
me.
yeah. But like Oregon State, Wyoming, San Jose,
I mean, for the
Nevada.
most part, they're beating them pretty handily, except
Yeah.
for a couple of them. But
I just think,
you also got a Heisman candidate here who, in your opinion, should have won the
yeah,
Heisman.
he should have won.
If you think that if he won, if we're sitting here like you're telling me that the number 6 team is going to go in there and beat the team with the Heisman winner,
Fuck it, Boise State.
Boise State. For my team.
All right, so now we're in the semis.
ASU, Oregon.
I'm thinking Oregon.
I'm agreeing with you there. I'm not gonna.
Here, just do it below. Oh, you're just gonna do the O.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say fucking just draw a line below and then put Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indiana, Boise State, Boise State.
And then I
I
got
w-
Oregon winning it all.
I got Oregon winning it too, but I'm also wouldn't be surprised if Boise State is coming out for blood.
How the fuck you
Oh,
spell Oregon? Or
Oregon.
close enough.
Yeah.
Get a little. Got some fireworks going on. And then the trophy. What's the trophy? Just like a.
It's a stand with a football on top of it. Yeah. Or no,
That's what I say. That's the Lombardi.
sorry, it's like this slanted at the top, but long here, short here.
I'm just gonna draw a football. And I don't know if you know this. They're gonna be sending the players on a trip.
At Disney World.
No, but it requires a rocket.
Oh, okay.
So there's Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
There's Dan. And I mean, smoke's coming out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And do they shoot at the top or?
No, this is where the like no. I mean, this is where you're kind
Okay.
of going towards the stars and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the oh boy,
Are you trying to draw NASA?
trying.
Yeah, they got a good view of that rocket.
Yeah, gonna explode all over the
Yeah,
college scene here.
all over their faces.
All right, how you feeling about this?
So like, I wouldn't be surprised if Boise State though,
Oh yeah,
like,
Boise State making it to the championship. Whenever I wrote that down, I was like, I don't think so. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, but that's what we're sticking with.
Sure.
All right, we have documented proof.
You can't hold on to this for a couple weeks. Couple weeks. Like 1 to 2.
And then when Maddie J comes back, I'm gonna go take a leak because I've been drinking lots of water today. Because if you haven't noticed, my voice is absolutely fucked. I've been still dealing with the same cold or whatever the fuck I got going on. But yeah, I'm trying everything I can to beat this.
You're making it sound like you got cancer.
I might,
I'm so strong.
I might as well shave my head at this point. Matt, would you shave your head with me in
If
solidarity?
you legitimately had cancer, yes.
Okay.
For your common cold, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go take my leak. I'm gonna leave Matty J with you.
For I'll tell the people here, if Maddie Light, excuse me, yeah, Maddie Light, that's your name. If he had for solidarity with him, if he shaves his head for the whole thing, I'll shave my nuts in solidarity for it because they could use a good trimming. Um, we had a great show for you today. We just covered college. I'm not feeling confident about that bracket at all, but we're gonna move on. I don't think there's much to talk about with college anymore. You could potentially rattle on about Heisman, this transfer portal that. I don't think we're gonna play any of those games. Um, we had a good weekend. I went and I got some tickets to go watch UNO Mavericks hockey. Can't remember who they played. They lost. Uh, got to go on the jumbotron twice, which I was telling the guys I was with that was like a childhood dream come true. You're always like a little kid, and you're always like you see the people on the big screen, and you just think like one day that's gonna be me one day, and I got to do it. It was a little nerve wracking for no reason. Um, I'm talking about you got your cough drop.
Yeah, I took the last two out of the bag
Oh,
just because I already know I'm gonna go through both.
yeah. You want to get some while we're out?
That would be not a bad idea.
My hair looks way redder in this than what it actually is.
It could be that
It's
fucking
the light, yeah,
yeah,
because yours is very white, and it's really weird because it looks like we're in two different rooms where mine is more of like an amber color and yours is like
yeah.
white. It's weird. Anyway,
Here, let me blind you.
no, we're good. I was talking about the weekend that we
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we gotta go kind of like under the stadium, like under the seats, and we could see where they did like where they would like sharpen the skates, keep the
Mhm.
sticks, like kind of like that I don't know what you call that.
The
Like,
equipment room.
yeah, thank you. The
Yeah.
equipment room. I got a photo of the boys that we were with and the mascot. And shout out, friend of the show, Mary. She's gonna be an interview that I'm gonna do with her, talking about kind of her role with the Mavericks. It was funny. She got in trouble because not she didn't get like in deep trouble, and I want her to tell, I guess maybe a little bit of the story on the podcast. But like we're there, I'm got about ready to do my thing. They pull us, so it was like, hey, at the 7 minute mark of the first period, go down to like the front entryway, and you're gonna meet a couple interns. We get down there and nobody's there, so
Hmm.
we're texting Mary like, okay, what do we do?
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, so like, so she's hollering at interns to come and get us. Nobody's doing it, so she comes and gets us herself. And she was like, yeah, I really wanted you to do the running with Durango, which what that is for anyone who hasn't seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. um Durango, the mascot, is on skates, and he
Hmm.
skates around the circumference of the
Oh
rink
yeah. And you
while
have to run
you have
back
to
and forth.
run from
one into the other
Yeah,
before he gets around twice or something like that?
he does it once.
Okay.
But you're in shoes, he's in skates.
Yeah.
And she was like, I wanted to get you in that one. As soon as I texted it, like, hey, I got a couple guys here that want to do it, they picked it. So she's like, I got you doing Planko. A little behind the scenes for anybody who doesn't know.
Mhm.
That stuff is determined before.
Okay.
I wonder if I don't know if she's gonna get in trouble for saying this, and maybe our people know. I didn't know this,
Yeah.
but like twice before, so when they're walking us in, they're like, first time on the big screen, how are you feeling? You doing a little nervous? And
Mhm.
I was like, I was a little nervous. If I had, we have a couple clips of me behind the
Yeah.
scenes and doing this. Can we add those in?
We can.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We'll ask our editor to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Me.
yeah. Um, yeah, I'm a little nervous. They get me out there. Well, like we're in the tunnel. Oh, we're in the tunnel. The fucking head coach walks by and goes, "What's going on, boys?" And they're like, "What's up, coach? What's going on, coach?" And we're just sitting there like, "Fuck, we just fucking suck, fucking,
It's cool right
yeah,
now.
so fucking cool." I don't know who the homeboy was that like did the interview. He's just one of the like HR guys. Oh,
The MC.
yeah. Okay, I'll save this. I had a bit, like a tidbit, but I'm gonna save that for the end. But the lady who's like, who who was kind of like the intern who was supposed to be there was like, hey, like you have a car, right? You gotta take that, or
I don't know what this is.
is it a call?
This is Representative Flood.
Okay.
Hello?
Good evening. This is your Congressman, Mike Flood.
Who the fuck is Mike Flood?
No idea.
Is he a congressman in Nebraska?
No.
So I have no idea who the fuck that
Yeah.
is. Um, Anywho, the lady's like, "You got a car?" I was like, "Yeah." And then like when they sit me down, so I'm on the bench. I'm on the player's
Yeah.
bench with the guy, and he's about to do his shtick. They got the camera. He's got the mic, and he whispers to me. He's like, "Hey, you got a car, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, cool. Don't want to make this awkward." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
So they do the plan, and it's their version of Planko. So like they drop it's like on the big screen. They drop a thing, and like here's the thing. I wanted to have fun with it and be have fun with it and be
Yeah.
entertaining and stuff like that. He did not let me get a word in edgewise. It was
What?
just like and like the only thing I could say was like, and he was just like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, yes, sir. All right, let's go." And then, "Are you excited to win?" Yes, sir. All right, and just like all I could say was yes. He didn't. He
Yeah.
gave me no margin for error.
Yeah.
So it might be a little boring to see me like
Yeah.
but like when you're a kid, like isn't it kind of like you see those guys on the big screen, like doing all
Mm,
those fun events, and you're just like, one day I want to fucking do
yeah.
that. That looks like so much fun.
I got to do a couple when I was at Storm Chasers games with my dad.
Yeah.
I got to do the bungee game where
Uh,
like you're tied up with bungee cords between you. Or
oh,
like,
really? That's
yeah.
cool.
And you have to collect the balls and put them in a basket.
Hmm.
Dude, I went out there to win, dog.
Yeah.
I fucking snagged. So like you have to put 6 in there
Uh,
and there's like 11 balls. So like if one,
one guy's gonna
yeah,
have five. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I just grabbed 5 off the rip and
Mm,
literally like dragged and like grabbed the bungee cord and fucking dragged him to
wow.
put all 5
How
in.
old are you?
13,
Oh, okay.
13 or 14. And then like he dragged me back. And so like I lost my footing, but he dragged me to my last ball.
Hmm.
So like no matter what, I was gonna win. He just had to make sure to pull me out of it. Dude, I was fucking hands and knees crawling because
Digging.
he was fighting for it. And then
Was he also like 13?
13 or 14, like
Like in your age range.
yeah,
They
in my
wasn't like
age
a
range.
21-year-old man that they're like,
No, it
okay.
wasn't a grown ass man against a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
13-year-old kid. I did one of those, and then I also fuck. What was the other one? It was the balloon pop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
that one. But and yeah, so like that one you have to kind of like do something to earn the win. But like for that one, it was like predetermined, and it like the ball ding 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 ding, ding, and
Mhm.
it landed in like a $50 gift card to like the gas station
Yeah,
that was sponsoring the thing, which is cool
yeah,
because they gave me a $50 gift card to go to the gas station.
yeah.
But like the lady was walking, she was like, "Yeah, it could have been worse. You could have gotten like a lame T-shirt or something." I was like, "I would have gladly taken the T-shirt. Are you
Yeah.
for real? Like, I would have probably taken."
It's
It's
like,
like,
bitch, I make money.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, not even like that.
I have a podcast. All right. We
That
make money.
and then like it was that rainy day. It was like pretty slick out
Oh,
whenever we
dude, that
went.
was terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of accidents. But like honestly, when you're on the roads weren't terrible except for when you got into the neighborhoods. The neighborhoods are
Yeah.
bad, but when you're on the main roads, it's not bad. You don't have to drive like a jackass,
Yeah.
and you're fine. But anyway, it was a little bit empty because not a lot of people wanted to go out. Um, we snuck into the student section and we got to like we were kind of like I wanted us to get like on the glass, but there's people
Yeah.
kind of standing in front of the glass that were students. And like as soon as they like in between periods they left, and I was like, we're going to the fucking glass. And like
Mhm.
Aaron, who's like, he gets like he has fun at sporting events, but he doesn't like he got into it
Yeah.
when he was on the glass. Dude, he was fucking like screaming, banging
Yeah.
on the glass. We had a guy with us, Noah, who he wants to be on the show, but they had like the student section signs. He
Yeah.
got yelled at because he was holding a sign, and like some people also, it like I said, it was empty.
Yeah.
These students came behind me, he's like, "Can you move? Like, can you put down the sign? We can't see." And like Noah was like, "Oh, not fault." But he, when like you do something to like
Yeah.
appease someone, but you're mad about it,
Yeah.
and you kind of talk shit for the rest of the night. I was like, dude, I was just told him to move. Like there
Yeah.
was plenty of other spots.
Yeah.
Like they were just standing. They were standing also like on top of
Yeah.
the because like there's like the bleacher and then there's like the seat.
Yeah.
They were standing on top of the seat, and I was like, and they still couldn't fucking see, dude. And
Yeah.
you're like 3 rows up.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking move.
It's like the one dude in an empty theater that
Yeah.
sits in front of you, and you're
Yeah.
like, all right,
Of
dog.
all places, it's
Yeah.
like,
I'm not even sitting in the middle. I'm
yeah,
like off to the left and back. I'm not
yeah,
in the middle, and you just decide to sit right here.
yeah.
You have the perfect seat open to you.
But like that, it's a ton of fun when you're like, it is such a different thing when you're like, because like when I like to be, I genuinely like to be on the top,
Yeah.
so I can see the entirety of the ice and kind of see like how people are, see this like
Yeah.
see the shots when they go out. When you're by the glass, you don't get to see the whole view. You only got to see kind of like whatever's
Yeah.
right in front of you. It's hard to tell on the other end of the ice what's going on. But yeah, it was still a ton of fun, even though we lost.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try to see if we can get more tickets because it was just a great time. And then we took another little road trip down to
Down to
Iowa and
Ames.
Ames.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've thought about it a little bit more because we did a little like instant reaction after.
Mhm.
I thought about it a little bit more, but I will let you go first because that for you had to been surreal. You were telling
Oh,
me
it
that
was.
like
Yeah.
since you're a kid, you've always heard about this place, you've seen it on TV,
Yeah.
the Hilton Magic, which I'm assuming there's still TCU
Yeah.
that
That wants
didn't
us
get to experience the
exactly.
entirety of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was sitting there, I was like, maybe I was a little harsh and I didn't, because I didn't. I think like looking back at how I was right after the thing, I think I was a little harsh on it, but because I was like, I didn't get to experience the real.
Yeah, Hilton Magic. But
Yeah.
you definitely got a little bit of a taste of it.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of a taste
Yeah.
of it. The thing is that I'll still say is, man, like Ames, by definition, is a college town, but it's not a college town in
It's
the
a
sense of.
typical Midwest college town.
I wouldn't even say it's a typical Midwest college town. It's a like so like that. If the way that you said that, I would have to put those in sentences.
Okay.
Like it is a typical Midwest town. Period. It is a college town.
Okay.
Period. Like by definition, they have a college there, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of the things that go down is because of the college being there. Is bringing in
Mm.
students. You have a really good what's the word?
Agriculture.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Agricultural thing there. You got George Washington Carver,
Yeah.
alum, and you have sports teams who consistently
They
do well,
Yeah.
but they don't like. I mean, you guys never won a
you haven't won
title.
a championship
Yeah,
except for in like I think wrestling.
yeah. Which
Wrestling is
you
like
guys have some, or you had elite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Which was cool to see that they highlighted.
Yeah. Our
Olympic.
Olympic champion.
Yeah. Um, but it's just not a college town when you look at a place like Lincoln or when you look at a place, like when you look at fucking like Bloomington, Indiana,
Yeah.
that's another where it's
I
a
get you on that,
Midwest
yeah.
town, but it's like it is a
That
bigger
also has a
college
yeah,
environment.
okay.
Like the college fan base, and especially like when we went to go to watch a football game at Ames,
Yeah.
the most one we had of conversation wise with a random fan were
We're
Nebraskan
yeah,
fans. They
yeah,
were from Nebraska.
yeah,
Regular, everyday people who live in Ames suck to talk to, except for your family.
yeah,
I was assuming they also lived in Nebraska because we
yeah.
could talk to them. And Uncle, what was
Uncle Rick.
Rick?
Yeah.
Thank you. Knows ball, knows old
Yeah.
school ball too. But when I, oh my god, the people we were standing, so we were standing, or we had really good seats to
Yeah.
start. Really good seats. It was,
At the basketball game?
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was switching gears to the basketball game. Had really good seats, and then I was like, hey, let's sneak down to the student
Yeah, and
section.
I was like, fuck yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. The students, man, they sucked.
Dude, yeah.
They
Well, I
suck
mean,
so bad.
also too at the same time, it was a Sunday noon game.
It's a Sunday noon game
Yeah.
versus
UNO,
UNO, who is not known for their
it was like
basketball.
3-8 or some shit like that
They're
going to the
3 and
game.
8,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, we talked about the spread was a 35.5 point
Yeah.
spread, which UNO covered, and
Barely
covered.
32.
It's still
32
still
different.
covered it. Like
Yeah.
if you're betting on that game,
If you're betting on it,
that's
and you sit there and it's an
you're
only
towards the end, you're starting to get nervous because you're just
Yeah.
like, man, because like towards the end, I feel like they started shooting a lot more threes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Overall, I had fun.
Yeah.
Basketball's still not my game. Like I thought I would come away with like a deeper respect and understanding of basketball. Dude, how many times did I have to just like look at you? Did that get old
No,
after a while?
no.
I was just like,
I love
what happened?
teaching the game of basketball. That's my
Like how often did I just look at you like, what happened?
Yeah, no, I didn't mind because
Yeah.
like you do the same thing for me with hockey.
Mm.
Because it's just like I know some things, I don't
Yeah.
know everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. What the what the fuck happened there? And so like I have no problem doing that, just explaining, like I have to do with my lady whenever we watch football and explain like
Explaining football, I feel like it's gotta be so much harder.
yeah, you have to have like red string and a bunch of fucking different shit all over there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like just so much shit can just change in an instant.
Yeah. And it's like honestly, I could do the same thing with basketball.
Mm.
That's because I know the intricacies
Yeah.
of basketball. And so I try my best to like turn down my autism
Sure.
and like just talk about the basics. But like I'm hoping one thing I want to know is like since you've been starting to do a little bit more basketball, I've been teaching a little bit more, were you better able to like understand certain things or at least see the plays happening?
One thing I will say, I think I've shit on this before, is how not very physical basketball looks.
Mm,
When we were there and I could watch, like, for example, if you want to help me out.
okay.
When they were down
By the basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that you could come in and you're dribbling the basketball.
Yeah.
You can stand there like this.
Yeah.
Like kind of like not like
Yeah.
but like really kind of like
You can play some pretty
Yeah.
aggressive defense on it.
like watching that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't look like much.
It doesn't look
from,
like much,
like,
but
TV.
when you see it and like especially when you look at some of the stuff that you like, I'm assuming I don't watch it that religiously, but they don't like they just kind of show the whole court,
Yeah.
right?
Well, they kind of like shift over to one side.
That's what I'm saying. They follow the track, and they rarely zoom in. But like when you're there, you can kind of like just watch the different things unfold. Like you can kind of see when a guy gets open, and you were really good about pointing that out. Like, hey, look how he's setting this up, and they're gonna pass to the outside. You don't get to see that really that much on the television, so it was cool to see a lot of that. I don't want to. Well, you were really good about pointing out the fundamental stuff too, where you're like, "Hey, watch this drill that UNO's doing right now," which hilarious to see the warm ups where like UNO is doing like fundamental stuff. Ohio State's just shooting baskets.
Iowa State's just out there fucking
just shooting baskets,
shooting
for
the ball around.
And they were only out there for like 10 minutes. UNO was out there for like the entire
whole warm-up,
45 minutes that we were there early.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, yeah, even UNO knows they're fucking lose this game.
Yeah.
They're just
And
here
like you
for
saw
extra
them too with their
Patrick.
prep talk at the beginning.
Yeah.
He's like, this is our game. They're trying to like do all this motivational shit and like, did this help them win? Absolutely not.
No.
But yeah, so like you saw like the fundamentals and everything, same shit I was teaching you.
Mhm.
And you can see it how it transitions to
Also,
the actual game.
Beautiful stadium. I will double down.
The outside architecture, terrible.
Well, even that, to me, I like the outside architecture by itself.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that is old. That is like rustic. And it is like traditional.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, when you get the other college environment stuff that they're looking to build around it, I'd be curious to see. Because is it going to be like a sore thumb that's going to be sticking out whenever they have that? Because it's like literally just a big gray concrete, like, right here. But what I was gonna say is like on the inside, renovated, very beautiful, clean. Yeah. Do you have those posters?
I do. They're in my truck right now.
You want to go? I want to open them up. Yeah. I want to open them up. So I'll tell. So when we walk in, so here's the thing too that I was gonna shit on about Iowa and Iowa State. They had a little bit of snow and stuff beforehand, and maybe like the day or night before. When we were walking into the stadium, concrete, like they have this weird, like upstairs bridge type action to get into the door. The whole like level of like that bridge thing to get into the doors is a sheet of ice. Like so much so that like I was walking next to Matt to have that conversation. I had to like come behind him where like enough people were walking along with it because there was that railing to hold on to. But yeah, there was no salt. You couldn't take 10 minutes to get 2 college kids. Hey, here's 2 shovels. It's not a big bridge sidewalk thing. Like go shovel it off, go throw some sand or salt down real quick. Especially with all the old folks shuffling in. I don't know why I couldn't take them 10 minutes. But we walk in and on these tables, and they're like, hey, there's a whole bunch of free posters and free posters and programs. Help yourself. And I go to Matt, I was like, oh, do you want to take some for the studio? And he goes, nah, man, like what you said no, and I can't. I think
I didn't know there were posters when I first at first I was going to grab a program, but then when I saw it was an actual poster, I'm like,
I think what you told me is like, I don't know where I want to put it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that's fair. Maybe we can grab it on the way out. That was my plan. It's like maybe if they have more, we can grab on the way out.
That was my thinking too.
And then we go to the gift shop and they have these foam fingers. And I asked Matt, hey man, do you want a foam finger? I was gonna buy a foam finger for the cats. Let me see if we can get this fella. Foam finger, just your run of the mill. Any Iowa fans that see me shit on Iowa State, here's your chance to get a photo of me. But
dude, there's 4 of them.
I know. There was
like 2 or 3.
No, there was a whole spread. There's a whole spread of those.
No, I'm saying like this is all just the same.
Wait, 4 of the same?
It's 4 of the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he tells me no, I don't want a foam finger. Well, we snuck in drinks, and the way that our seats were, we were right next to the stadium attendant. And they don't allow alcohol. Yeah. So Matty Light, who snuck in a beer, couldn't exactly just pop open his Coors Light and take a sip of it while he's watching the game. Beer. Oh, it was the Iowa State beer? It's over there.
Yeah.
So he goes to the bathroom to chug his beer. He comes back with this roll and he goes, look what I found in the bathroom. And I was like, you were like, I stole these. And I was like, what are you doing? Like I asked you if you wanted those and you're like, but like, where's the thrill in that? And I was like, you know what? He's got me there. And then
where's the thrill in free shit when I could steal something?
And then we go down to the student section and it's littered with these foam fingers. And then he takes one.
That's steal.
And like, honestly, I was sitting there like, I would actually be kind of mad if we did buy those foam fingers just to go down to the student section. There's a whole bunch for free. So that one I'm not going to shine you too much, but and it's all. I was telling him, I was like, could you imagine if it was just like some Make a Wish kids that he got signed by
Yeah.
all the coaches and whatnot, and
Sure.
he saw it, and he stole them.
Jules, what's your thoughts on that?
She thinks it's like a rabbit or something with the fur.
Oh, cute pup. All right, we need to hurry up and get this shit
I know. I was
done.
looking. I was like 7:30. Anyway, that was our weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With Nebraska. So here's the thing: Nebraska's next year's schedule is out. I'm gonna make this declaration now. I'm going to their home opener.
Okay.
It's in Arrowhead Stadium
Oh,
versus Cincinnati.
nice.
Yeah, David wants to go
I'm down for a Cincinnati or
for.
KC trip.
So I
Yeah.
was like, shit. Yeah, I'm going to that one.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go watch them because Michigan's coming into town, and I
Yeah.
wanted to watch that one because that's the Bussin' Bowl.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can't because I think it's like back to back to back. I was like, I couldn't. At my work, I could just be gone 3 weekends in a
Yeah.
row. That would just be kind of shitty. So I'm going to do that one, and then I think the boys are going to go watch the Akron game,
Okay.
which is the 2nd, I
Yeah.
believe, of September.
I
So
mean, I'd love to go see the Iowa State season opener in Dublin.
I have fun with that. Take
yeah,
the road mic, do a little vlog for the series.
I'm just out there with a fucking camera and fucking, hey guys, I'm out here in Dublin.
I would be slightly like, damn, man, that it's cool that he's gonna go do it, but it's Iowa State
Yeah,
and
K-State.
K-State, which the
Good
Farmageddon,
matchup. Yeah.
you know. I'm gonna throw my phone on the charger before we go to the
Okay.
gym. No one was hitting up the chat anyway,
Okay.
so
Well, my phone is still looking fairly good, so I'll pull it up at least. That's if I even have Twitch still. There it is. Stream manager. All right, cool. I have it up now. But yeah, so we're gonna hop into the NFL, and I want to kind of brazen through this. So the first game, Rams over 49ers, 12-6. Very low scoring game, but the Rams pulled away with the win. I don't think there's a single touchdown that whole game. We both picked Rams, so we still continue our not losing. Jules. Ugh. One second there. I got fucking glitter on me now. But yeah, we both picked the Rams. Chiefs Browns. Who would have thunk? Except for Matt.
well,
I know.
that was wishful
I was giving you shit.
Yeah.
The Chiefs won 21-7, which you had picked the Browns.
I won that JMO
Chiefs.
magic, man.
The next couple we got
Well, it's
right,
not there.
and we both picked it right. We both picked the Bengals to beat the Titans 37-27, which I'm surprised the Titans. Well, also granted, the Bengals defense is never there.
Dude,
Yeah.
that D, that O line.
Yeah.
I mean, the wide receiver core. That's a good wide receiver
Yeah.
core. That Chase Brown, he's picking up where Joe Mixon kind of left off. I mean, he's not exactly filling the shoes, but I mean, what we got there? 25 carries for 117 yards and 1 TD.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good outing.
We both picked the Ravens to win over the Giants.
Did you do the Commanders and Saints?
I was just going off of this.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay.
I missed the Commanders.
Hey.
Yeah.
Jules, get down. Oh, was she going after the bear?
Yeah.
Is that where you turned it
Yeah.
on?
So yeah, we both picked Commanders over the Saints. Commanders won 2019.
Very close.
That one was a
late
lot
game
closer.
quarterback
Yeah.
or comeback, not quarterback.
Yeah. We both picked the Panthers over the Cowboys. which the Cowboys finally decided to have a good game.
Well, and Bryce Young
Yeah. Bryce Young,
did not have a good game.
no. I mean, he had a TD and 219 yards of passing, so like it's better than how he was in the beginning of
Is
the
that
season.
10 for 28?
19 for 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he had it. Anyway.
What was it? I picked the Jets, you picked the Jags.
Man,
32-25.
we were watching that game as we left Iowa State.
Yeah.
Mac Jones was looking pretty good. That Savage guy, the tight end for them,
Yeah.
looking really good.
Hey.
You know, Devontae Adams, man, he had himself. That's a game that I think the Jets fans have been waiting for all
Oh, they
year.
definitely have been.
2 TDs,
Yeah.
almost 200 yards of passing and not even 10, 10
10
receptions.
receptions, yeah.
So
Pretty
yeah,
solid game for Devontae Adams.
a lot of deep balls thrown
Yeah.
his way.
Yeah, he loves some balls deep.
Okay.
I
think we both went for the Fins.
Yeah, we both picked the Fins.
Yeah.
And this was a game that we both had said the Texans needed
Yes.
to win. And they absolutely did that.
They won and the Colts lost. So with that, the Texans clinched their division.
Hell yeah.
So
going into the Colts Broncos, I believe we both picked the Broncos.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Bo Nix, man, I like he's starting to become my favorite for offensive rookie of the year. Yeah.
Bills Lions 48-42. When we were watching this game, I did not expect this game to be this close on how it ended.
Yeah, they really turned it on the fourth quarter. I think if they had it their way, they would love to have that first quarterback.
Yeah. And then also losing David Montgomery
for the rest of the season. Dude, here's the thing. That is a 17-man roster.
Yeah.
For their injured reserves.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Some of those guys they might get back for this playoff push. Montgomery, no. That sucks, dude. I love Montgomery.
Yeah, I love him. He's an Iowa State fan or Iowa State player.
Yeah.
He was a great running back in college.
Great
running back now.
Great with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, I had him when he was playing with the Browns on my fantasy, or not the Browns, the Bears.
Yeah.
On my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I stuck with him when he was on a shit ass team and he was still running good.
Yeah, he was the only highlight.
Yeah.
And the thing I like best about those two guys is they're not competitive with each other.
No.
They're supportive of one another, and it's like, hey, they both want either one of them to do really well.
Yeah.
And with that, because I mean, he was more of their power back. Like, hey, it's 3rd and 1. We need to drive and get this first down. With Jahmyr Gibbs, more of that kind of like, all right, we're gonna give it to the outside and try to break.
Yeah.
Get a couple good yards off at the end, off of your speed, and
or like get a perfect A gap trap and fucking you just run down the middle.
Jared Goff too threw 5 TDs, man.
Yeah.
But with that Bills team
was good.
Yeah, they're gonna. I think Josh Allen really wants to make his claim for MVP. I mean, especially you lose Stephon Diggs and you're still fucking dominating.
Yeah.
A lot of the passing accolades, especially. I mean, you got guys like what is that cat's name? God, it's SH. I can't remember his fucking name. Does it show it on there?
No.
God damn, that's gonna bug me for the rest of the show. Anywho, we also got to watch Steelers Eagles.
That one, like, I think Chisel Adana said it best. The Steelers had opportunities to score.
Come on, what are you doing?
We just could not perform in the red zone, especially off turnovers.
Well, yeah, you dominated. Well, I don't want to say dominated. You won the turnover battle.
Yeah.
Which traditionally teams who do that,
win.
Here's the thing. I think it's a different story if you had George Pickens in there. I think it would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is too. You guys, you guys did slow down Saquon Barkley, but I mean, that was off of he, potentially injured. I think he took like a helmet to the knee.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I wouldn't want to fucking do that.
No.
But
he sat a good majority of the game.
But you still had
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. I mean, fucking AJ Brown lit you up, and I mean that's
Yeah.
what he's been. That was all the chatter was. AJ Brown was like, "I want the ball," and he
Yeah.
finally got the ball.
110 yards of receiving with off of 8 receptions, 1 TD. Pretty good play from him.
Yeah,
I think
we
this
split.
one oh yeah, okay, we both picked the Cards,
Yep, Cardinals over the Patriots.
and then I picked the Bucks and you picked the Chargers.
Yeah, you know, I gotta maybe put a little less stock in. I
Yeah.
mean, their the Chargers defense is good. But I mean
Baker's just goaded.
Baker and then fucking Mike Evans being back and being
Yep.
healthy is great. What 2 TDs there?
Yeah.
Um, his fantasy owners got to
159.
be
Yeah.
really
Well,
happy.
his fantasy owner had him on the bench.
I'm just saying people in general.
Yeah.
Who is his fantasy owner?
Epstein's fly log.
Oh well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Um,
Is that who you're potentially going to be shisty with?
potentially.
I
Yeah.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
No,
I mean, we did shicey stuff last year.
not that I don't even think it ended up like whoever you. I don't think it ended up working. Like whoever
Yeah, it did.
who
It it was a wide receiver because one of yours got hurt.
here.
Yeah.
Let's because we were already talking about how
No, yeah. Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. And I think we both picked the Packers on that one. And then we both picked Vikings over the Bears. And we
and
both
then
picked
the
Falcons
Falcons.
over the Raiders. Um, and then for fantasy,
Well, let's just skip fantasy and just talk about next week if we're trying to be
okay,
crunched on time.
yeah, all right, fair enough. Uh, to put it in brass tacks, I lost, but still number 1 seed in the playoffs.
You lost?
Yeah,
Really?
Darnell Mooney did nothing, 0 points. Yeah,
Wow.
that's the whole reason why I lost. Yeah.
Huh. Did
You
not know
won
that.
your
I
matchup
won.
though,
Yeah.
which my loss with 2 girls 1 cup beating me made you stay in the 8th spot.
Yeah.
So
Which
like
eh.
unfortunate, but you're still in the consolation
Yeah, I'm still
playoffs.
in that second playoff. So
And I'm going up against OJ was framed, and then
tough.
you're going up against
Greg.
the G spot. Yeah,
Yeah. Oops. G spot.
no, it's fine. We've said enough names this episode.
Yeah, I mean his first name. Now that was like Greg Eugene Simmons.
Yeah,
Then it's like, all right, man.
Matt, why'd you say my last name?
Well, and middle name.
Yeah, we do share middle names. All right, so
Wait, what?
yeah,
Who shares middle names?
me and G Spot.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Broncos Chargers. I'm gonna go Broncos.
I'm also rolling Broncos, but I think that defense is gonna. I
It's
mean,
gonna be
especially
closer.
both of these teams, man. Like, if you guys want to make that wild card, like this is to me, who wants the wild card spot more? Because you're
Yeah.
not gonna beat out the Chiefs. You're
No.
gonna have to settle for a wild card
Yeah.
spot. Who wants it more?
Yeah. And I think we're gonna see the Broncos
Yeah, I mean, you got Sean
prevail.
Payton, who's more of an experienced head coach.
Yep.
They just got ready. Well, I mean, fucking on the other end, you got fucking Harbaugh, who is fresh.
Who's
Out,
been in the playoffs before? He's been in the Super Bowl.
yeah.
He's taken teams to
I mean,
national
Lad
championship.
McConkey's coming back.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
he was back last week too.
that's what I'm saying. Like he's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
scratch my record about the Sean Payton being more experienced head coach than that was. I
But
completely forgot.
he's not a more experienced head coach than him, but he is a more experienced head coach in the league.
Well, Sean Payton won a Super Bowl
Yep.
with Drew Brees.
Yep.
I don't think Harbaugh has won a Super Bowl.
Nope.
Yeah, he lost to his brother.
Yep.
Yeah. So in that sense,
Yeah.
anywho,
Then we have Texans Chiefs.
dude. So
I'm gonna go Chiefs. just because like every single time
Well, here's the
there
thing.
is
Do you know that Patrick Mahomes is questionable to play?
yes.
And it's going to be Carson Wentz who's going to be the backup.
So, oh fuck. All right, so I'll go Texans unless Mahomes is in.
You can do that. Here's the thing. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of reason for the Chiefs to really even so if they want to lock down that number 1 seed, I get it. Go out and try to win this game. But like risking a lot of your starters, do you
Yeah.
know so they play Saturday night.
Yeah.
4 days later so they play the 21st. 4 days later on the 25th, they're playing
Yeah.
the Steelers on Christmas.
Yeah.
That is a fucking shit. I mean, even playing Saturday
Yeah.
is shit enough of a turnaround anyway. That's like
Yeah.
6 days of rest.
Yeah. And then 4 days later on Christmas.
And you like that's just so here's the thing. There's no way that they're gonna win both these games.
Yeah.
It's fucking gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Pittsburgh's in the same situation. They're playing Baltimore Saturday.
Yeah.
Then they move it to Wednesday
Which I
with the
definitely
Chiefs.
think the Steelers Baltimore a much tougher game compared to the Chiefs Texans.
100%. 100%. The only thing is breaking news. Michael Penix Jr. has been named the Falcons starting quarterback moving forward. They bench Kirk Cousins.
Damn, really? He scored his first couple touchdowns in like 4 games after a 4-game drought.
Towards the end of the season, they know they're not going to make the playoffs. Let's see what the rookie can do.
Fair enough.
That's probably the thing. I'm rolling Texans too, but I'm doing
Okay.
straight Texans. I'm not going to do unless Mahomes is starting.
Okay.
I mean, this is also when I think the Texans are also playing a lot of games in a short amount of time too.
So speaking of Saturday, Steelers Ravens, I'm still gonna have to lean Steelers. I think that loss against Philly is gonna mean they come out strong and hitting.
The one question I have: TJ Watt went out. Is he going to play? Is George Pickens going to play? Those are 2 big players that you guys had that are questionable.
I'm still sticking with my Steelers.
Yeah, and you should.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry didn't get fed a whole lot last week.
Yep.
I think he's gonna, especially if TJ Watt's not there, as long as you don't run on Cam Hayward's side, I think you're gonna do pretty good.
Yeah.
And if George Pickens is not there, and the offense is kind of starting to stall out.
Yeah.
Even though honestly, the last time you guys played each other, you guys didn't even really have a great offense. You guys made all your points off of field goals.
Yeah, but we also held a lot of the Ravens to the field goals too.
But that's when you had TJ Watt. I mean, you guys had a healthier team.
Yeah.
I'm honestly rolling with the Ravens.
And like
even though this is the tough team, this is a both
tough teams.
Tough win. I mean, you guys know each other really well. The rivalry is there.
Yeah.
NFC North football, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be happening in Baltimore too.
Yeah.
So.
Giants, Falcons.
Man, fucking
Falcons, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Falcons. I don't know.
Lions, Bears. I'm gonna go Lions.
I'm gonna go Lions too, man. But with how beat up they're becoming, you got a bit of a gap. With how beat up they are, man. I mean,
it's gonna be much harder to. Well, I'm still always gonna be Lions faithful.
I am too.
Even if they're gonna lose, I'm still gonna be like, no, Lions, 100%.
Especially, I mean, I think Caleb Williams. I think last week wasn't
for his first year. Yes, the record doesn't show.
I mean, you lost your head coach.
Yeah.
You're getting a new environment from
being in Chicago in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's played fairly well.
Fairly well for
compared to like what I set his standard to compared to like what a lot of other people were hyping up to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think you landed very much in the middle.
Yeah, I think especially with the roster that you have. I mean, the kind of big name on that roster on the offensive side is Swift.
Swift and maybe DJ Moore.
Yeah, but it seems like DJ Moore really doesn't kind of fuck with Caleb Williams.
And then you also have Keenan Allen too.
Yeah, who's
And
a
Keenan Allen has been silent all season.
well. I thought a lot of the time he's been injured. He's been in and out of active.
Fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bengals, Browns.
Browns, Bengals.
I'm gonna go Bengals. Yeah. I think everyone's hot on JMO because they love his personality.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
look at their record, 3-11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he had one good game against Pittsburgh, and then since then,
Yeah. But he still has the same energy, and he still shows like
which good for him.
Gunslinger.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns
Use
with
that energy
3
to throw
interceptions.
receptions, not interceptions.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say, respectfully.
Titans, Colts. I'm gonna go Colts.
I'll go Titans. I think for both teams I think the Titans are playing a little bit more like they want to play. By the Colts are like we have to play. I don't know why. That's just kind of the like when I'm watching them, just a weird
that makes
vibe
sense.
I get from
that definitely makes sense. Like we have to play and we want to play. Yeah. Rams, Jets. I'm gonna go Rams.
I'm also gonna go Rams.
Good. With last week's performance, I'm not certain if the Jets will want to play out. Like,
well, are the Jets? They are eliminated.
Yeah.
The Rams aren't. The thing is our defense is not like Jacksonville's.
No.
You're not going to do a lot of those big plays with us. We're going to get in there and we're going to fuck up Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, the way that the Rams played Thursday night is not a reflection. I mean, look at the week before then when they're playing in LA, and we were really on it with but I mean, when you're playing in those conditions in San Francisco when it was raining, you can only do so much.
I'm just saying that like maybe the Jets found their stride finally after like half a season.
I don't even say that.
I'm just saying like maybe they found their stride.
I think it's one of those things that like you finally find a team that you can beat up on.
Yeah.
Like you're a guy who's in a bar, you want to fuck up everybody, but all the other guys are bigger and badder and they fucked you up 10 times already.
Yeah.
You see one guy who's half a thumb, bad knee, is sipping on a tonic water, you're just gonna go in there and bully him, and that's what they did,
All right, so Eagles, Commanders. I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm also gonna go Eagles, but I think that's also because last time, I mean, but it's funny when you look at the differences of the stats between Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And now, granted, you got Saquon versus Robinson Jr., who are both good backs, but Saquon, I think, is definitely.
I mean, well, he's an MVP candidate.
He's an MVP candidate. But the thing that I would be questioning is, after last week versus the Steelers, how much rest is Saquon going to get?
Yeah.
And how well are they going to rehab whatever injury he? Because I mean, he was on the sidelines and he looked like he wanted to play, but they still had a lot of Gainwell action going on. So I'm going to go Eagles.
All right, Cardinals, Panthers. I'm going to go Cards.
I'm also going to go Cards. I don't think there's much to talk about here.
Even though the Panthers have been playing hot.
Not last week.
Yeah, last week was like a bump in the road for them on this,
What I'm going to lost to the Cowboys, who, like, you keep it close with the Chiefs, you keep it close with
the Bucks.
Thank you, and then you get stomped by Dallas.
Yeah.
This game,
Vikings, Seahawks. I'm going to call Vikings.
Man, I think the Seahawks know that it's going to be us or the Seahawks. It's either the Rams or the Seahawks. And I know the Vikings are like, we want a wild card spot too.
Yeah.
Potentially, this is a wild card matchup that we're going to see down the road.
Yeah.
I like Geno Smith connection with Smith and Jigba, and I like Kenneth Walker III. But Sam Darnold's making a real compelling case for comeback player of the year after being a fucking just a joke in the league. I think talking about finding your stride, Justin Jefferson is finding his
Yeah.
stride. He's been doing really hot these last couple weeks. I think when you look at the defenses, the Vikings defense is just super excited to play. Anytime they make a big play, they're coming over with
Yeah.
super choreographed,
Some
celebrations.
sort of dance. Like, what did they do? They did the fucking
They did the
Parent
white
Trap.
chicks.
They did White Chicks, and they also
Oh,
did Parent
yeah,
Trap
yeah,
handshake too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Vikings too, but
Okay.
I expect it to be a pretty close competitive game.
So you're calling it a brawl?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
All right. Pats, Bills.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go
Bills.
Bills.
I think the Bills. No, they could. There's a recipe for them to get that week 1 bye,
Yeah.
but it involves them winning out.
Yep. Jags, Raiders.
I'm gonna go Raiders because Amir Abdullah, former
I'm gonna
Husker, is.
go Jags.
I really, to me, I don't give a fuck about this game. I'm already gonna lose. Why? This is our first split of the week. Fuck it.
Yeah. Actually, no, we had Ravens, Steelers as a split.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. I'm sorry.
49ers, Dolphins.
Man, I'm gonna go Dolphins just because of how beat up the 49ers are. But like man, that guy who so Greenlaw comes back to play for 49ers. That's
Yeah.
their linebacker who went out during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's finally active to go play. And because you saw that, right? You saw
Yeah.
that they're talking about this guy
Yeah.
who didn't want to play because the starter came back and, what a
Yeah.
just a terrible. He's
Yeah.
suspended, which like I don't know, that's like
Mhm.
I want to stay in my room all day. Well, good thing you're grounded. Stay in your
Yeah.
room all day.
It
And
was like,
you
that's cool, dog. You can still
yeah,
be gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So, like,
I'm
if
gonna
the
go
49ers
Dolphins.
weren't so beat up, maybe if they had a couple more players back, and maybe
If
if,
they had CMC, if they had Debo playing how he was last year, if they had Brandon Ayuk, if they
yeah,
had George Kittle
like,
being
if
more consistent, then yeah, 49ers all
Debo
day.
wasn't sitting there dropping the ball, like,
Yeah.
open.
I think the Dolphins is
Yeah.
another team who, like 49ers, know it is a tall glass of water for them to get to that playoff spot. The Dolphins, they just got to keep up with it, man. I mean, I know that they're 6-8, right? But I mean, yeah, they're
Yeah,
6
6
and
and
8,
8.
and I mean they dropped last game, which I was kind of surprised to see.
Yeah.
But I mean that was fuck, who are they playing? We were just talking about 'em.
I'm forgetting too.
Anyway, let's move
Yeah.
on. We're both going
Yeah.
for Dolphins.
Bucks,
Bucks.
Cowboys, Bucks.
I'll let you do the analysis on this one if there's anything worth talking
Baker
about.
Mayfield is goated.
Bucky Irving, also pretty good. I was gonna tell you, dude, if you're really hurt, I would say for your fantasy, if you want to be legitimate, you don't want to have like a bad
Yeah.
connotation to your name because I think people are gonna sniff that out.
Yeah.
I would look at there's a couple people like I would look to move Tony Pollard from off your flex and put him into your running back spot,
Yep.
and then I would pick up a wide receiver, and there's a ton. I mean, Tim Patrick on the Lions, he's been doing really good.
Yeah.
Trey Palmer on the Buccaneers, he's doing pretty good. There's also that other, there's another, like it's the number 2 receiver
Yeah.
for the Bucks right now. He's been consistently getting like over 10 points a
Yeah.
game. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, we're both picking Packers over Saints.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last game of the week or
Yeah, last game of the week.
okay.
Our current standings 148-72. Matty J 134-89. We forgot to do that after
Yeah.
the end of the week. So
We have someone working on a logo, so potentially we're gonna get tattoos here.
potentially,
soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
When money is in.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tattoos are expensive. At least in
never.
this state, they're a lot more expensive compared to other states I've been in.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
What's the cheapest besides Poland?
Colorado, actually.
Why?
They did it by the hour and not by like the piece, which is what they have
Huh.
like here the base rate. Some of the
We
tattoos.
can talk about this later.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. But yeah, so that's been the MattCast podcast. I am Matty Light, joined by my co-host Matty Heavy, and thank you guys for coming.
Did it twice, man.
Matty J. Sorry,
You're good.
I'm still getting it.
You're good.
But yeah, joined by my co-host Matty J. Thank you guys for coming. Bye.
I gotta poop so fucking bad.